How the hell y'all doing? Clint from the doorway too. Doing one of those reviews that you also love so much. This is from a band out of Iceland on Prophecy Productions, which came out yesterday, December 11th. Band's called Fortid, and the album is called World Serpent. So yes, you know I'm reviewing it because I love things about Ragnarok, about Scandinavian and Germanic pagan beliefs. As you can see, the Thor's hammer that I'm wearing, like uh, as a true follower, this is going to be something I really want to check out and listen to. Again, their sixth record. Uh, it's an interesting mix of progressive thrash, black metal, and an avant-garde and folky elements as well too. So let's see what this sounds like. It's 10 tracks. Again, it's a pretty interesting ride. It's got a really interesting album cover. You'll see it when we put it up. It's basically kind of broken up into two different sounds. The first half of it is more of a progressive thrash kind of side, and then there's a lot of black metal on the second half. But let's listen to the second track off this record, which is called True Awakening. I don't think I lied to you at all. See, it's progressive, it's thrashy, it's folky, it's avant-garde. It's really interesting. It's like mixing elements of like 80s and 90s Bay Area thrash with prog rock and folky elements and just avant-garde metal and heavy rock stuff. Again, bands from Iceland are always interesting. So looks like they've worked with Potentum as well, which is another really cool kind of like avant-garde black metal band out of Iceland as well. Uh, World Serpent is definitely an interesting release by this band. Let's listen to another track and kind of talk a little bit about it as well. This is going to be track number 4. It is called Insignificant is the Worm King's Throne. That one has a lot of that Bay Area thrash sound. Kind of reminds me of Testament and Death Angel and stuff along those lines musically. And then it goes into that really progressive kind of Avant folk pagan metal vibe as well too. I just love the way the vocals kind of layer over it, and they're specifically mixing so many different layers and elements over the record. Fortid is really interesting. Again, 6 records in, they've got to be doing something right. Let's check the second half of the record now out, and let's listen to track number 6, which is called Son of a Barren Land. As you can see, it's kind of like the light and the dark side. The first side is kind of a little more upbeat and perky and positive kind of feeling and sounding, and then it moves into this darker, more blackened tone with the way the vocals and everything arranged, but it always has that middle ground where those really melodic, powerful guitars and clean vocals stay in there. The second half of the record is just a much darker record. Again, it's the story of the world Serpent, so it's a end of the world story of Ragnarok. So at the beginning there's probably hope, and at the end they just know that there's despair, and they're kind of putting it together the best way they do. Icelandic bands have a very interesting tone on everything they do. Any Icelandic band you listen to that plays music is very diverse and different. I mean, let's just go to the Sugar Cubes or Sigur Rós. Even Folkenbach or again Potentum, things along those lines. Things from Iceland are always very jarring diversions of sounds. So Fortid is very much that way as well too. Let's listen to one more track and then we'll wrap it up. This is going to be track number 9 out of 10 tracks. It's called Perfect Annihilation. So to wrap it all up, that kind of mixes it all together. That last track, it's thrashy, it's black metal, it's progressive, it's folky, it's avant-garde, and it's got neoclassical tinges. Uh, it's just a good mix of everything, and it kind of builds up throughout. That first half of the record definitely has a more thrash metal, proggy side, and then the second half of the record is more, I would say, black thrash with a lot of folky kind of neoclassical elements as well too. Um, Again, Fortid, World Serpent. It's the name of the album. It's 10 tracks. Came out yesterday, December 11th. It's on digital CD and LP on Prophecy Productions out of Germany. I will put links down to the Bandcamp and the way to be able to get it, and links to their Facebook page. If you like what I do and you like seeing what I do, like and subscribe the Facebook and YouTube pages for the Doorway 2, please. Really does help. We do have a contest going around right now with a record label that I co-run. So if you do subscribe to the Facebook page, you get entered to win the first 3 records we put out on, or first 3 CDs we put out on the label. Again, Clint from the Doorway 2. Thanks for your time, and see ya.